Hey, what's up, friends? This is my review of the Europa League final in Baku between Chelsea and Arsenal. The final itself wasn't that great, but usually any finals in any tournaments aren't usually not the best game of that tournament. But yeah, I thought this one was a bit slow and in the end pretty one-sided. So the lineups here for the game was pretty much the what we expected, except for Kante. There were question marks if he would be able to even play today, but it turned out that he could play, and he started the game on the midfield for Chelsea. So instead of Ross Barkley, which many people, including myself, thought would be starting today if Kante wouldn't be able to start. Otherwise, the lineups were pretty much what we expected from both teams. So yeah, the game started off a bit slow, as I said, and neither team were that great. But Arsenal, I guess they were the better of the two teams. First 10-15 minutes with some early tests of the Chelsea defense, but no real scoring opportunities so far into the game. And I made some notes during the game that after 15 minutes, I thought Chelsea got into the game, and they started to have more possession, and they created a few nice plays around the box, but nothing really dangerous so far. And then Arsenal started to send a few long balls, which Chelsea had some problems with. And then in the 70th minute, Lacazette goes down in the box. And at first I thought the referee got it right. He didn't award any penalty. But the more I look at it, the more I start to think maybe it should have been a penalty. There is contact for sure, but I think since like I said, hits Kepa's head, and it looks like he's always on his way down, and they do have VAR in this final, so they could have looked at it. But the VAR referee didn't tell the referee on the field to come and take a look at it. So I guess that the judgment call that they made was that that was not enough for a penalty. Maybe you could argue that in, let's say, match 5 in the Premier League against maybe one of the bottom teams, maybe Arsenal could have gotten a penalty at Emirates Stadium, but I think the bar is set a bit higher in finals like this, and that's a total different discussion to have, if that's the right thing. But that's just a fact, and yeah. So there was no penalty awarded. A goal there, the game would probably look very different from then on. And after that, actually, Arsenal had a good period. They had high pressure on Chelsea, and Chelsea, they had problems to play through that initial pressure by Arsenal. And Kante, he was not good in the first half. He was not on his game. I think maybe because of the injury that he had going into this game, maybe that affected his game, but he didn't look good, and that you could see that for sure. And then Arsenal taking over a bit more of the possession and start to find space on the wings, especially on Chelsea's right wing. What they did was that they played up on Chelsea's left wing, and then they made a crossover to the right wing, and there was a lot of space there, mainly due to Pedro not coming back. So they look good, but the last pass didn't make it through. So that they didn't really create any really great chances except for a shot by Taka that graces the bar. So that was the best chance so far in the game. And then it would take to around 33 minutes before Chelsea actually got the first shot on target. And then later on, in the 39th minute, the best chance of the game so far came from Giroud, but it was a great save by Peter Cech. He came down pretty good on that one. It's a good shot. Giroud got a lot on it. And yeah, it was just a great save by Peter Cech. So that was pretty much the first half. And as I said, it wasn't that much that happened in the first half. Very few chances. Lot of giveaways and sloppy passes. You could only see once in a while. You saw some brilliance from Hazard, and yeah, that was about it. So first, yeah, it was a tight game, and then the penalty situation, of course. So the stats for first half. So possession is 55% to Chelsea and 45% for Arsenal. Attempts on target, 2 for Chelsea and none for Arsenal. Total attempts are 5-4 in favor of Chelsea. And Peter Cech had to do 2 saves, and Kepa didn't have to make any. And 3 in corners and 1 each for offsides. So there was no subs in halftime. And so the second half starts off almost immediately after only 3-4 minutes. Giroud scores a goal. Nice header. It's a good run into the box. He cut in front of Koscielny, and it was a good cross from Emerson. And yeah, Giroud was first into that space, and it was a great delivery from Emerson, and it just hit him right on the head. No chance for Peter Cech. So yeah, that was a nice goal, and that, you know, opened up the game a little bit, because now Arsenal had to push up a little bit. So the first yellow card came in the 55th minute for Pedro for protesting. He I don't think it was a free kick, but yeah, I don't know if that was a yellow card. I mean, he's probably said something that, you know, use, you know, certain words that was not acceptable, I guess. But later on, 5 minutes later, Pedro would actually score a goal from Hazard. So this is a terrible giveaway from Maitland-Niles, and he didn't have a good second half. Maitland-Niles. Yeah, the giveaways would cost Arsenal a lot in this game. And then in the 64th minute, penalty. There's a clumsy tackle by Maitland-Niles, and yeah, you cannot go in like that in the box. Giroud is experienced striker, and there's, you know, he felt this contact and then he fell. I think it was pretty clear penalty in the end. So on the penalty shot, Hazard scores, and then a few minutes later, another yellow card for Christensen, Chelsea. And yeah, Arsenal make 2 substitutions at once. Iwobi comes in, and he scores a goal pretty soon after he comes on, actually. And it's a wicked shot. It's unassisted. And the funny thing was that during the broadcast, first time Iwobi got the ball, he made some great moves. That's when Christensen got a yellow card, taking him down. The commentators were talking about that. You know, Iwobi, he's a good player, but he can't finish. He's not a finisher. And then just 30 seconds later, he strikes a wonderful shot. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Then in the 71st minute, Pedro comes off and Willian comes on, and then a minute later, Hazard from Giroud, and this is another giveaway from Arsenal. And as I said, the giveaways would cost them, because at that point it was just 3-1, and even though it's difficult to come back from that, I mean, one more goal and at least you get some nerve into the game, and maybe it could force some mistakes and maybe force a few chances, force a goal, perhaps. But yeah, 4-1. That was just pretty much it. Then we got some nice football from Chelsea. They got a lot of space, obviously, and you could see that the Arsenal players, they got pretty crushed from that goal. And then Chelsea making another substitution, Kovacic out and Ross Barkley in. And Barkley, as most of us thought, would maybe start the game even if Kante couldn't play. But Kante played, and Barkley came on in the 76th minute. And then a minute later, Özil out and Willock in. And Özil, he was invisible, especially in the second half. He had a few good actions in the first half, nice long cross ball, but in the second half he was not to be seen anywhere. Actually, I think Henrik Mkhitaryan was more visible than Özil in this game. That's how invisible he was. So yeah, he didn't have a good game. And the thing with Özil, he has these games every once in a while. The World Cup, same thing, invisible. So when he's not good, he's really not good. So maybe he should have made that substitution earlier. But yeah, at this point it was a bit too late. But he looked good when he came on. Actually, he created a lot of chances, and he missed a great opportunity. He didn't get the curl on the ball that he wanted, so his shot just went past the post barely. But yeah, a goal there maybe could have been something. Then Hazard came off in the 88th minute. Maybe that was his last. Most likely, actually, that was his last game for Chelsea. And it's a great finish for Hazard. I mean, if you're gonna leave, then no better way, of leaving than winning a title and score 2 goals and an assist. So that was the game, and in the end, I think Chelsea won fair. So that was that, and the total stats here for the game: the possession, 48% for Chelsea and 52% for Arsenal. Attempts on target, 8 for Chelsea, 2 for Arsenal. Total attempts, 14 for Chelsea and 15 for Arsenal. And Peter Cech had to make 4 saves in total, and Kepa only had to make 1. And corners are 7-5, and offsides 1-3. So that's that. So yeah, congratulations to Chelsea for winning. This is their second title in the Europa League, and it was previously known as the UEFA Cup. So Chelsea won that once, and this is the second title. And we can talk a lot about the penalty that didn't happen, or the players that weren't there. But I don't think that would have changed the result in the end. Chelsea, they looked pretty good. They were in control of this game. And unfortunately for Arsenal, Henrik Mkhitaryan couldn't play today, and the whole debacle here with putting this game in Baku is just very, very unfortunate. But unfortunately, that's a game we're playing at the moment. It's all about the money, and to be honest, UEFA is not the only organization that do this. I mean, there's a lot of clubs that do similar things. I mean, we don't complain when our favorite team, you know, goes into sponsorship, or put their friendlies in countries with a very questionable reputation. That's just the way things are, unfortunately. But yeah, this game putting here in Baku, I think there was it was a mistake. But yeah, that's the thing. That's how things are nowadays, and I expect it to be, to continue like this in the coming years as well. Baku is gonna have a couple of games in the Euros as well, so we'll see. But well, I don't think it's gonna be a problem for Mkhitaryan. I don't think Armenia is going to qualify for the Euros. But still, there's a lot of issues with Azerbaijan and the leadership there. So yeah, I really wish the UEFA could take that into consideration and maybe not put big games in these kind of countries. But yeah, well, that's just me, I guess. So there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.